Warner Walker, Monday of last week, took his gun and went for a squirrel hunt. He was out until about 10 o'clock when it's supposed, in some way or another, he shot himself through the heart. When the body was found the next day by the searching party, he was lying with his head on his hand as though he had gone to sleep. Another time did a dog prove his friendship for his master. All day long he stayed by the body, leaving 2 times to go to a neighbor's house to notify them, as it seemed, of the death of his master. But no thought was taken of his appearance at the time. All during the night they searched for him, but not until about 10 o'clock the next morning did they find him. And then his body was found in the edge of Elliott County in a large woodland, near the home of Bob Mabry, where it had lain all night in a downpour of rain. When the body was found, the faithful dog would not allow them to touch the form until Oscar and Ross Porter made friends with him, with the dog. Mr. Walker was taken from the orphan's home when a mere child and adopted by Mr. and Mrs. Boone Walker, who were kind and true to him. The remains were buried in the Porter Cemetery, and the entire community was greatly shocked at his death, because he was greatly admired by all who knew him. So do you guys know where he was found near the Bob Mabry home?
Just out there, just down 504 there, a little ways on the left-hand side of the road, and a holler there, which was, in my lifetime, was the Johnny Catron place.
Oh. Okay.
It was, and Bob probably owned part of that at that time.
Okay.
He owned right over next to Sideway Road, didn't he?
Yeah, well, he owned it to fill, he did own all that, I do remember. That's where part of that I owned, Bob owned.
Boone, Arabelle, and Warner lived in Marion right before this, the year before that, for about 2 or 3 years. And they're in the records there in the city directory. Boone worked at one of the factories in the lab. I forget which factory he worked in. And they were real involved with the Nazarene Church. And I went out to our Nazarene campground in Marion and found records where Boone had went up to, I think up in Fort Wayne, they had went to an annual conference or something for the Nazarene Church, and he was one of their delegates. Another lady that seemed to bring a lot of people to Marion.
Was it the one they called Aunt Sarah?
Yeah, Sarah Roseberry.
Okay, I couldn't think of her last name.
Yeah.
She was a Bradley, wasn't she, before she?
Yeah, I think so. Because I know all of Boone Porter's boys moved up there.
Well, that was their aunt.
Yeah, yeah. But Sarah Roseberry and Arabelle, I think, were good friends.
Because almost everybody in the world that I know from here that went there rented off of her at some point. That's how I knew the name, because we rented off of her.
Did you? Mm-hmm. So did she have a few different properties she rented?
Quite a few.
Okay.
Quite a few.
Because she lived on 30th Street, didn't she?
She lived just off of 30th on Adams Street.
Okay.
And she owned the houses on either side of her, too, at that point.
Okay, so she was quite a landlord.
Mm-hmm. Seemed to be.
So Sarah Roseberry was the connection for a lot of...
I think, probably.